I watch a new film every other day. Follow along for recommendations and reviews. Today, I just finished watching the movie titled Alabosi that is showing on Toyin Abraham TV on YouTube. You guys, my experience watching this film was a roller coaster that I'm about to tell you. But before that, when you start noticing the credits of films, you start seeing some familiar names. For example, the person that wrote this film, Yemi Akande, is the same person that wrote one that we just watched not too long ago called Hannah. Two films that seem so unrelated, but the same scriptwriter. How random. This film, you guys, if you had met me at different points in this film, I'd have told you different things. This film, before I even entered into it, when you see the name Alabosi brackets the hypocrite, you hear the soundtrack, Alabosi, upbeat. You now hear the way that the film is described. It says she's down to earth, so real, so nice, or maybe that's exactly what she wants you to believe. You're getting a sense a bit that like okay, another like film about a liar, a hypocrite. Also coming again, remember that we've just finished watching like Alakada Gen Z Part 1, Part 2 that are comedies that we love, very funny. I entered into this thinking it was going to be a comedy, like something to come and laugh, alabosi, make we see her hypocrite lifestyle. I start watching and like 5 minutes into the film, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25. I'm like, where's the alabosi in this film? Waiting with the alabosi inside here. And also the film is not funny. It's not a funny film, it's not a comedy. It's like a drama. And I'm like, I think I'll be the head and tail of this film. Like, I don't, did they? Is this the wrong film? Because people are calling her Alabosi without giving any spoilers. But I'm like, this is Alabosi. Is this the right Alabosi file? Truly. And I'm like, And so the film keeps going. But at the end of the film, I was like, okay, the message here is very clear. The message kind of comes later, but when the message comes and it finally starts dawning on you what the film is trying to say, you go, okay, okay. And the reason I ended up liking the film was because of the message. The viewing experience for me, this is like my least favorite film of the ones we've watched on the um Toyin Abraham's channel up until now. But the message here is so strong and it's a very good message. We'll talk about that one in the spoiler section. Also, I don't like talking about people's personal lives on this page because it's about film. But this film feels like a very direct response to the situation that happened at the Avinzo premiere between her and Funke. This film feels like a very direct response to the discourse around her behavior and that situation. And I talk about that because this film, at first I was watching it and I was like, why is Tony telling this story? Like, what is the head and tail of this story? But when you keep watching, you now go, okay, this is also a reason. So this might be an interesting reason to watch it if you're curious to know what she's trying to say. Because what she's saying here is a very strong message. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to give you spoilers even by mistake. For those of us who have watched it, spoilers ahead so we can gist about this film well in totality. In three, two, one, let us go. All right, now we're in the spoiler section. Please, if you're going to write a comment that has spoilers, just write spoiler alert before you write your comment so that we don't spoil it for people that have not yet watched it. All right, let's start gisting. So, as I was saying to you guys, like when this film started, I was like, where's the Alabos? This woman is a woman that, like, in her prayer, when you see her praying and she's praying, like, God, I want to do good in people, all that. I'm like, oh yeah, she done start with her lies. But then the film now starts, and you now realize, no, no, no. Her prayers match who she is. She is a talk and do woman. As she's saying she's good behind the scenes, she's actually good in front of the scenes. So I'm like, Alabosi where? So when the people in the community are now calling her like, hey, you're Alabosi ways, stop this Alabosi. I'm like, where is the Alabosi? She's not Alabosi. What are you talking about? But then that is the point of the film, right? Like when it now keeps going, you now go to like, oh yeah, that is the message of the film. And the first message that this film really puts across that I really like is continuing to be who you are, even in the face of public scrutiny. Like people will tell you that, oh, you're doing too much. Why are you kneeling down when you're the one that is not even in the wrong? Why do you feel like you're waiting to be prostrating or kneeling? Like, why are you doing all this ways? Stop your alabosi ways. Calling you names that are not meant for you. Like, because she's not an alabosi at all. Nothing about her is a hypocrite. But you're calling her hypocrite. And that's again the message of the film that I really, really loved. Like when I now really like started when the film started coming together and the message was now really coming. I was like, okay, no, I love this message of like being yourself even in the face of names that don't belong to you, that people are calling you. That is one message of this film that I thought was very, very strong and is the primary message of this film. It also talks about preserving culture, and she kind of talks about that a lot of how she feels like, certain things like kneeling down and prostrating, these things like Yoruba culture, and she just wants them to be passed along. So there was that topic too of preserving culture that I like that this film touched on. There's also another message in this film of the kinds of insults we say in anger, because I like when she's talking to that man's wife and she's telling her that like you're a woman like me, how are you insulting another woman about with saying that you don't have what happened to your children, what happened to your husband? Like that was not the right word to say. And it just talks again about even in your anger, be careful what you say to other people because you just have to be careful with your words. And even speaking of that woman too, there's another lesson there of Get to know things for your own self. Don't just go based on what people are saying. Like that woman was so swayed by public's, oh, you did, but said they sleep with your husband, but said alabosi, you know, you're just listening to the words of the people and you're not even actually going to talk to the woman by yourself. There's that very strong message here too of making sure that you're actually talking to people before you come and scrutinize them. Like, listen, find information out for yourself. Just don't follow the masses. So that's another big message in this film that I really also loved. There's also, of course, the message of even in your kindness, be careful how you help people. Because we see that in trying to protect this woman's marriage, the things that you're doing can be misconstrued to look like bad. Your good can start to look like bad if you're just helping carelessly. Like even again, when she goes to take out a loan for a child that you didn't even tell the mother that you're taking out a loan for her child, you just again take out loan because you felt so compelled. No be so you go do am. You go tell the woman first, say, I can take a loan, so that the woman will know what you're going to do, because you can't now go and take a loan and come and put some this woman later and I'll be angry. You know? So it's talking about even in your good, be careful how you do your good so that you don't get yourself into trouble. Even at the end to where she helps that couple to come and sleep, tell her to come and sleep in in her home. And then she now wakes up and she's trying to wake the girl. And we now are like, this girl don't die. She would have been in huge trouble. Huge. Thank God that the girl now woke up. But the message was still passed, because even if it was this thing of you always have people in your home and you're not telling, yeah, just doing this thing you think is good. But if this girl can't die for your home, trouble. That is very, very big trouble on your part. So be careful when you're even doing good and how you're helping people. At the end, of course, there's still that, and the biggest message here is keep doing good for yourself, first of all, just for the sake of mankind, and just keep being good. And sometimes, like this film ends, sometimes that good will come back to you in very like huge ways. Because at the end of this film, the keke that she lost, a woman now comes and gives her 7 million, which is more than she even lost. And that is now like a nice end to her story. So the message here is very clear. The message is the biggest reason why I ended up really even liking this film, because the viewing experience, as I told you guys already, was not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a comedy, like ha film, like in this vein of Alakada. But it's not at all. But it is its own thing, and the message here too is so strong. If you've watched this film, I'm very curious to know what you think about it. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, if you've watched this whole video and you have no idea who I am, my name is VDK. I'm the curator of the VDK Film Club, where every other day we watch something new and we just about it. Follow along. All right. Until the next film that I watch and the next video that I make, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.